Hello to all them Amiga owners out there that are looking to put their ADFs onto floppy disk. This is the easiest way that I found. It's the cheapest way. It's not 100%, it works for the games that show up on Workbench. But all I've done is you've got a regular floppy drive cable from PC. Note how the cable's twisted. And on the Amiga ones, you'll find that they are not. There's no twist in them at all. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself your hands on a cable from a PC like that has 3 connections on, unlike this one that only has 2. And then what you do is you take the end one, take the end out, take the top off, turn that cable round so it's straight and true, just like the Amiga cables, and then you end up with an Amiga cable with 3 connections on it. What I then did was took one end and put it onto the Amiga's motherboard. The second pin I put into the Amiga's main floppy drive, and the last one I put onto the Gotek virtual floppy drive. But I also had to change the pin on the back, as you can see on this model of it, from the S0 to the S1 port. That does mean that the Gotek will show up as drive 1 opposed to drive 0, but for the sake of the games that don't like to be on drive 1 and do like to play and load up from drive 0, just copy them to a floppy disk and you should be able to run straight from the floppy. I also appreciate that I've cut into my Amiga, and a lot of people don't like to cut into their Amigas and have things like that, so you might find a way of having the ribbon cable come out from under the casing or otherwise. So as it stands, I have my Amiga 600 here. Plain model, no added extras, no extra memory boost. I've just got the jerry rig for the optical mouse because I haven't got much desk space. And obviously I've got the Gotek USB port there, the floppy drive counter, and my selection buttons at the side. I have a disc here which technically it says Batman the movie, but I have since formatted it. And to show that nothing happens, I'm going to turn our Amiga on, and we should get nothing. Alright, let's go on to the Cortex floppy emulator, look, because there's nothing on that disc. Straight to the floppy emulator. Now, again, I can select whichever one I want, whatever I want. So if I go on, I don't know, go on to here, go on to M. So we've got Mega Ball here, look, Mega Ball, hey, I don't know, I like Mega Ball, that's one of my favourite games. I hit Mega Ball, put it into slot 3. And again, and I hit close and save, and it's in slot 3. I then find that it's going to load straight, because obviously slot 1 I have in the Gotek, I have Workbench 3.1, which for some reason has checked some errors. I believe it's purely down to the fact that my 600 needs recapping, which I have yet to do. So if I hit cancel, I have another disk where I've done this before with Workbench 3.1. I should put that into the side, and I shall also restart the Amiga. And it should ignore the Gotek and go straight to the floppy, because the main floppy drive is set to be DFO, so naturally it will try and load from that first. It's going to take some time though. Without the added extra RAM, it does take a while. And there we go. Workbench 3.1 has to check some error on block 61. Okay, I know why that one is, because that is the Gotek. So it's showing up now that I've got 2 versions of the 3.1. If I change my Gotek from 1 to channel 3, where I put the Mega Ball, it should show up now as Mega Ball. And there we go. There's our Mega Ball file as of Gotek off USB. Now if I take out the floppy disk that I'd made before using the same method. I put in my blank, which doesn't work or doesn't boot. I let that load, and on that, just saying empty, so it's showing as empty. And all I do is simple, is click and hold Mega Ball, drag it to the empty section, let go. Please replace volume. So then I go into here, get my 3.1. This does work if you use the Gotek rather than the floppy drive for Workbench 3.1. It's just I'm having to use that because the Gotek version seems to be a little bit upset. So now it's asking me to replace the volume with the empty disk, so the one I've just told it to basically write to. I'll put it in, give it a second, it'll disappear. So I've inserted disk from device DF1, which is my Gotek drive, on 3, which is Mega Ball, and insert a disk to copy the destination disk in disk 0, which is the blank disk I've just inserted. Click continue. And we wait, and it does take a while because writing to floppies always has done. But like I say, with this Amiga, it is getting on a bit. It needs recapping, so some things on it are a little bit slow anyway. And when, like I say, without the extra RAM, it does take time. Disk swaps are a big pain in the arse. Going to get in there slowly, quarter of the way there. And we're very nearly done now. Should verify the disk in a second, hopefully. Oh, maybe not. Yes, no. Oh, there we go. Right, and now we have copy of Mega Ball. The Mega Ball is on 3 of the Gotek drive. So if I change that to 1, that then throws, when it comes back, oh, there you go, 3.1. See, it's looking like I checked some error. Don't hit cancel because I'm not that bothered. At the end of the day, I just need to reload it straight off the laptop because straight up on USB, make a new copy of it. And we have a copy of Mega Ball. So if I then turn the Amiga off, notice it's still the same disk. And I leave the disk in. I turn the Amiga back on. The disk that didn't load anything before should now load a game. Note, we are still on Workbench for the Gotek drive. And you can hear it, possibly. And there we go, we have our game.